Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good. Guys, I want to give you some bad news. Smash the like button, guys. Um, smash the like button. It really helps my channel. Please, if you still keep smashing that like button, it really helps me. It really helps the channel. It really helps me get out there. So I really appreciate if you can smash that like button for me. I know there's a lot of you watching, so please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, share my videos, please. Guys, I've tested positive for COVID-19, and hence why I've not been well, and I was wondering why. I've never had a flu. I've never had illness like this in my life. I've never felt like this in my life. Like, I've had a flu before. I've never felt this way. I've had a shortness of breath. I've had issues. I've had body aches. I've had headaches. I've had high temperature. I've never had a flu like this. I've never felt so uncomfortable ever. And I'm still not great. I'm still aching. My body's hurting. My head's hurting. Like, it's not thing. But now I've got to isolate for a week or 10 days. Yeah. So I'm definitely not 100%. So yeah, I thought I'd let you know because you guys are my subscribers, and I thought I'd let you know because a lot of you wanted to know how I'm doing, and yeah, I thought I'd just let you know that I have tested positive for COVID-19. So hopefully, after the next couple of days I won't feel so bad, but at the minute I'm still bad. I'm still not feeling quite that good, to be honest. But yeah, I thought I'd break that news to you, but I want to get to the video. Guys, someone's asked me, does Usyk overleap Canelo Alvarez pound for pound? What's my answer? What's my take on that? About him overtaking Alexander Usyk? Does he go ahead of Alexander Usyk? Does Alexander Usyk go ahead of Canelo Alvarez? Here's the thing. I think Canelo, for me, is pound for pound number one. I think Canelo's accomplished so much. He's done so much. He's been beating so many champions. He's beaten so many champions over the years. But it's a debate worth having. A lot of you were making out like it's not even a debate and there's no way Alexander Usyk can be considered above Canelo. I think some of you need to actually look at the history of the sport of boxing and see how many cruiserweights have come up and beat somebody that was a unified heavyweight champion that was in their prime in dominant fashion like that. It very rarely happens. And remember, the demographics of the heavyweights today. Heavyweights are massive. Anthony Joshua's 6'6", 240 pounds. And Usyk's gone in there and completely dominated him. There's a saying in boxing that a good big man beats a good little man. Well, Usyk's just flipped that script on his head. He's just gone on there and just dominated Anthony Joshua. And then let's not forget, he's done it in 19 fights. He's become the undisputed cruiserweight champion, where he's gone to people's backyard and beaten everybody. And the fighters that he fought at cruiserweight were tough. Michael Hunter, Glowacki, Gassiev, Bradis. He fought some really, really tough fighters. Then he fought Bellew in England. That was not an easy fight. Chisora, not an easy fight in England. Then I fought Joshua, and he beat Joshua comfortably. I think for people to say that he's not even in discussion to be talked about pound for pound number one, then if you were to ask me who I would have pound for pound number one, it's Canelo. But to say Usyk's not even in the discussion, I think he's definitely, for me, top two now. He's definitely number two pound for pound. I don't know how you could put Crawford ahead of him. And I like Terence Crawford. I believe Terence Crawford, Usyk, and Canelo Alvarez are the three special fighters in boxing. They're the generational type fighters. I believe they're that good. But the point is, you can't put Crawford ahead of Usyk now. Not after beating Anthony Joshua like that in dominant fashion like that. Anthony Joshua was the heavyweight champion, unified heavyweight champion. If Alexander Usyk beats Tyson Fury, then for me, he's pound for pound number one. Or he beats the winner of Wilder Fury, because then he would have been undisputed in 2 weight classes. And that would put him pound for pound number one. And like I said, to become an undisputed cruiserweight champion, then go on to heavyweight and become an undisputed heavyweight champion, that's unheard of. And then look how many fights he's done it in as well, guys. 19 fights. You know, the guy's a phenomenon. So, to be brutally honest with you, I think Usyk is a phenomenal fighter. And I think he's definitely pound for pound number 2. For me, Canelo's the best fighter in the world right now. But Usyk is a close number 2. You know, he's a close number 2. And if any slip up from Canelo, you know, he slips up against Plant, then, you know, I would definitely change that. If Canelo loses to Plant, then I would put Usyk number 1. Or if Usyk beats Tyson Fury, then I'll definitely put him I would say he definitely deserves to be number 1, because that would be a phenomenal achievement. You know, we're talking about beating somebody that's like 6-7 inches taller than him, you know, probably 30-40 pounds heavier than him. You know, that would be an incredible achievement. You know, Usyk is a really, really special fighter. And what he did yesterday, I was in awe, because like I predicted, as you guys know, I thought he'd beat Joshua. Didn't expect him to be as smooth as it was. I didn't expect him to do it with the ease that he did it with. He did it comfortably. He did it with relative ease, you know, and you don't expect a guy like, you know, Anthony Joshua to get beat easy, because we know Anthony Joshua's a beast. Anthony Joshua can punch, he can box, you know, but Usyk just completely negated him and negated his attributes and just made him look terrible in that fight. He made him look average. Let's be brutally honest, he made him look average. And Anthony Joshua, I felt like he was clueless at some points in the fight. He just didn't know what to do. You know, he was at times, you know, at one point in the fight, he was egging Usyk to come fight me, because he wanted Usyk to have a scrap with him, because he couldn't get near him. You know, I can't remember a really big punch that Joshua landed on Usyk. I can't remember something that really telling landing on Usyk. You know, a flush, big right hand or a left hook, you know, where it landed flush. Nothing. I don't think anything landed flush. I don't think anything landed that significant. I don't think anything landed, you know, that had any impact on Alexander Usyk. I think Usyk for me was comfortable in there. He wasn't wobbled. I felt he was hurt at times. He got hit with body shots, and you know, his gum shield came out and he was breathing for air. But this is what I said in a previous video, that you know, these guys show adversity in a subtle way. Their body language don't give it away. Like Joshua, you could tell when he's in distress. You can't really tell when Usyk's in distress because he doesn't really show it as much. You know, he was brilliant yesterday. You know, I think Usyk highlighted how great he was yesterday. I think Usyk showed the world that this guy is one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. And hopefully now he gets his credit, and all this rubbish about him being small and not being a big heavyweight, all this nonsense that people like to bring out, and all this nonsense that people like to talk. Oh, he's not big, he's not this, he's not that. I think people can you know, let that go, because like I said, that just because a guy's small, if a guy's exceptionally skilled like Usyk, with the footwork, with the hand speed, with the movement, with the boxing IQ of someone like Alexander Usyk, right? It doesn't matter how big you are, because Joshua's not in the same, like people were saying, oh well, they're Olympic gold medalists and that. It's irrelevant, because Joshua's not as skilled as Usyk. Now people keep saying that Joshua fought the wrong fight. That's the way Joshua fights. You can't tell Joshua to go. Joshua's never been a seek and destroy fighter. He's never been a guy that goes to a guy, walks him down and starts going like a Derek Chisora. You know, he's not a pressure fighter. He's a guy that gets behind his jab and sets things up. Even early on, he was like that. But since he's been knocked out against Ruiz, he's become a bit more reluctant. He's become a bit more careful because he knows that he can be hurt. He knows he can be knocked out. And if you look yesterday, if he went gung-ho, if he went and started throwing wild punches, bearing in mind he was wobbled a number of times yesterday, right? If he had gone gung-ho, what's to say that, you know, Usyk wouldn't have knocked him out? He almost knocked him out in the last round. And he hurt him in the third round, and other rounds he hit him with shots where Joshua looked, you know, unsteady. But Usyk knew he was comfortably winning the fight. So Usyk I don't feel like Usyk wanted to commit himself. I think towards the end, if you see Usyk stepped on the gas a little bit more, because I felt Usyk felt there's nothing left in Joshua. Even then he was being a bit cautious, because boxers have that mentality. They're more cautious because they're thinking we're ahead. Why do we want to go in and get caught with a shot? Especially Joshua's a big puncher. So he was cautious. He knew he had done enough to win, so he just thought, let me just see it out. Let me just see this out, because I'm gonna win this fight. And I think it was the right approach, because to be honest, he could have stopped him in that last round, but at that point, I think it was quite clear for everybody to see, right, that Joshua had lost that fight. You know, even Joshua kind of accepted. If you look at the way he slumped back into his corner, he kind of knew that he had lost that fight as well. You know, Usyk knew he had to put in a performance like that, and that's what makes it so incredible. Because a lot of people were saying prior to the fight that there's a chance that if the decision's close, Joshua will get the decision. Usyk didn't allow it to be close. He completely dominated. You know, I know people saying, well, it was 8-4 or 9-3. Personally, I think Joshua probably won about 3 rounds. But it wasn't a close 9-3, 8-4. It was like, it was one-way traffic. You can clearly see that Usyk was the better man. He was the better man. And I don't really see what AJ can do in the rematch. This isn't Ruiz. This is with Ruiz, he managed to get the job done because Ruiz was not in the greatest condition. And Joshua was able to jab, and just, you know, win a points decision. The problem is with Usyk. Usyk is very skilled, and he's gonna have to go for broke in that fight. By going for broke, you're leaving yourself open for getting caught. And I don't know. I don't know whether I personally wouldn't favor him in the rematch. But again, like I said yesterday, that I feel like Joshua's come back before, so we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if he can do it again. But I think this one's going to be a lot harder. This is going to be a lot harder. And if he was to win this rematch, wow, this would be this would be great. Because although I think with the Ruiz fight, I think, you know, a lot of people felt he was going to lose the rematch there. I think there were still a lot of people that thought Joshua was going to beat Ruiz the second time. I don't think there'll be a lot of people that think Joshua beats Usyk in the second fight. I think majority of people, even British fans and British, you know, I'm talking like the people that work, like people that, you know, work for Sky or whatever, you know, even I think they would favor Usyk to win the fight. I think there'll be most people picking Usyk to win the fight. Just because I think with Ruiz, not many people knew much about him. We knew he was the hardcore fans knew about Usyk. They knew he was a decent fighter. We already knew about Usyk long ago. We knew how special he was. Right? So before this fight against Joshua, we knew how great Usyk was. It was just whether he could translate that to heavyweight, and he proved he could. With Ruiz, it was kind of like, it's been like his career has been a one-fight wonder. I know he did all right against Parker, but Parker's not been that impressive since. And you know, again, his next fight, Ruiz against Areola, he didn't look too good either. So you know, he's a bit inconsistent, whereas someone like Usyk isn't inconsistent. You know, Usyk he's going to deliver the performances back to back. Again, styles make fights. Certain styles will trouble Usyk. If you pressure Usyk, like Chisora did, he may not look as good because Usyk needs space. If you give Usyk space, he'll pick you apart all day long. But if you do what someone like Chisora did, is pressure him, put him on the back foot, give him no space, then you have more chance of success. That doesn't mean you're going to win because Chisora didn't win. But you probably have more chance of success. But Joshua doesn't fight like that. So you're basically asking Joshua to fight a way that he doesn't really fight. So I can't see Joshua in it. But coming back to the original point, for me, Canelo Alvarez, I still have him as the number 1 pound for pound, and Usyk is the second. However, if Canelo was to lose to Plant, or Usyk was to go on to have another dominant win at heavyweight, then that could well change. You know, that could well change. But yeah, and to be honest, I think Crawford is kind of behind. I don't think Crawford can get to number 1. He'd have to beat Spence. He'd have to do a lot more. Whereas Usyk now is not that far away. Usyk has done so much already, and the fact that he's going to people's backyard and doing it, you know, and to be honest, all his performances have been very dominant as well. I think if he was to beat someone like Fury, I think it's hard to say that he's not a number 1 pound for pound. But that's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.